I'm Jason, UFC, and today we have a story about UFC welterweight, UFC middleweight fighter, I guess. Khamzat Chimaev has made peace with Shavkat Rakhmonov after the two went back and forth on social media. Khamzat Chimaev has sent well wishes to Shavkat Rakhmonov. What's that about? It appears any beef between rising stars Hamza Chimaev and Shavkat Rakhmonov has been squashed for now. Earlier this year, in an interview, Rakhmonov revealed a rather neutral view on potentially facing Chimaev somewhere down the road. This is what Rakhmonov said. If we are meant to fight, we are going to fight, Rakhmonov said. If not, it's not a big deal. I have my own sports interests to compete with him, but if it's not going to happen, it's not a big deal. Okay, I mean, he didn't really say anything. The devil may, okay, Rakhmonov expressed towards Chimaev ahead of UFC 286 seemingly went well, went against a prior dig Rakhmonov made against Chimaev. The welterweight had previously taken a seat in a wolf-themed chair, sporting a similar coat to one Chimaev has often worn. The comment to go along with the image was widely interpreted as a dig at Chimaev's wolf-focused nickname. Yeah, I mean that seems pretty obvious. When someone calls, okay, I mean this is not even. This is clearly a shot at. This is clearly a shot at Chimaev. This is what Rakhmonov said. When someone calls themselves a wolf, the wolves are among us. Hold on. Maybe it's not. What does he mean the wolves are among us? Okay. Oh. Yeah, that's clearly a shot at Rakhmonov. I mean, that's clearly a shot at Chimaev. More alarmingly, Rakhmonov posted a disturbing video of a hunter. Okay, I'm not going to go into it. Yes, you can say that. That's fine, right? We can talk about hunting and killing wolves. Of a hunter killing a wolf in reference to fighting Chimaev. Goodness, when did this come? Yeah, you can see the following media includes potentially sensitive material. Okay, yeah, so we're just talking really crazy here. In recent posts on his Instagram, Chimaev seemingly made a move to bury the hatchet. I mean, did Chimaev ever say anything about Rakhmonov? I don't understand where this is coming from. Chimaev cited the long history between their respective homelands, Chechnya and Kazakhstan. I believe that's how you pronounce it. In his post, he went on to wish Rakhmonov nothing but success. Kazakhs and Chechens and Kazakhs have always been brothers. I wish you all health, happiness, love, prosperity. May the Almighty this month of Ramadan bring you lots of barakat. In every nation, there are people who are not fair-minded. We wish them well too. May the Almighty guide them to the path where they will unite our peoples and not divide them. Inshallah, right? Is that how you pronounce it? Allah will try to come to Kazakhstan soon and please my brothers. Okay. Okay. Considering his brash and very aggressive trash talking and relentless self-promotion, it's certainly a surprise to see Chimaev speaking in such a respect. I don't think it's really that much of a. I don't think he's like a savage. Like he just talks crazy reckless about everybody. But you know, both men are undefeated. Rakhmonov last fought at UFC 285, where he bested Jeff Neal via a submission in the third round. Chimaev, meanwhile, has been inactive for some time now. He last competed at UFC 279 last September 2022, where he mauled Kevin Harden en route to a first round submission victory. Considering, I think this is most important, considering the middleweight rumors surrounding Chimaev at the moment, a showdown with Shavkat Rakhmonov seems unlikely for now. Maybe, see, it's crazy because the last few weeks, it's been nothing about, it's been, obviously, it's, to me, all of this is just like Twitter. right? Because if you think about it, like a month ago when Leon Edwards won in the welterweight division, when he defended his belt versus Usman, Chimaev went on Twitter, and his first thing was, "Hey, I'm going to see Leon Edwards next." And now yesterday, or a few days ago, Alex Pereira lost his belt to Israel Adesanya, and now it seems like Chimaev is now attacking everybody in the middleweight division, right? Like it seems like that's what's gonna be happening now. I don't know if Chimaev is next in line for the middleweight championship. I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be really upset about that. There's some hardcore MMA people who actually justify it, which is a little bit surprising because I'm an MMA casual, and I don't really see, I mean, if they made it, it'd be fine. I wouldn't have a problem with the UFC making Israel Adesanya versus Khamzat Chimaev. I just think Chimaev doesn't have any victories over anybody in the top 15, so I can't really understand why that. It seems like there could be something towards Chimaev fighting Paulo Costa next. I personally don't like the idea of Chimaev and Robert Whittaker fighting next for the number one contendership, but they have to be at some point. Robert Whittaker is, he is the number one contender at this point. So he has to fight someone. Do people want to see Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker for a third time? Is it Dricus du Plessis versus Robert Whittaker for number one contender? Is Robert Whittaker definitely number one contender now? I think before UFC 287, some people were holding out hope maybe Alex Pereira would win that match, and then he would easily have to, he would fight the number one contender, which is Robert Whittaker, and Israel maybe fight someone like Dricus du Plessis, or but now with Israel winning, with Israel already having 2 victories over Marvin Vettori, 2 victories over Robert Whittaker, a victory over Jared Cannonier, he's kind of cleaned out the division. There is Dricus du Plessis, who personally I didn't think his performance versus blonde Derek Brunson was that impressive. I thought he lost the first round, so I don't think him heading into a 5-round fight versus Israel Adesanya would be a good thing for Dricus du Plessis, but maybe they're talking about him. I would like to see Dricus du Plessis fight maybe a Robert Whittaker, fight maybe a Sean Strickland, fight maybe Apollo Costa. I think right now the middleweight division needs a few number one contender fights, right? Because Israel Adesanya is the champion now, and I don't think Robert Whittaker should just walk into another title fight versus Israel Adesanya. I think right now we're going to have some kind of not a tournament per se, but maybe an event where you have, maybe Chimaev versus Costa and Robert Whittaker versus du Plessis, or Sean Strickland versus Chimaev, and Robert Whittaker versus Costa for number one contender, because both of them have a lot of smoke with Israel Adesanya. But then maybe even a Dricus du Plessis versus Chimaev. Chimaev and him have a little bit of smoke. Dricus du Plessis defeated Darren Till. Darren Till left the UFC after that. Maybe that could be his first fight in the middleweight division. Put that on the same card as Robert Whittaker versus Paulo Costa in the middleweight division. I like that idea. Right, but let me know your how did we even get to the middleweight division? We completely left the welterweight division because we even haven't said anything about Shavkat Rakhmonov. Just a little bit about Shavkat Rakhmonov. The kid is 17-0. No one in the welterweight division says his name. UFC, Dana White said that they wanted Bilal Muhammad to fight Shavkat Rakhmonov. I don't think Bilal Muhammad has said one word about Shavkat Rakhmonov. He's been throwing out other names. He said he wants to fight Kobe Covington. He says he wants to fight Kamal Usman. He's trying to make that fight now. But no one in the no one in the welterweight division says Shavkat Rakhmonov name. The kid is 17-0. He's ranked number 6. So sooner or later, these people are going to have to see him. Maybe a Gilbert Burns. I don't know what's happened with that fight. Maybe I like Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Gilbert Burns. right? And then you make Bilal Muhammad versus Gilbert Burns, and have Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Usman. I don't know. Someone's gonna have to. I'm just saying at some point, one of these top 5 welterweights will, if not 1, 2, maybe even 3, will have to fight Shavkat Rakhmonov. He's 16-0. He's someone we're gonna be talking about, his next by his next fight. We'll see what the UFC does with him in the welterweight division. But a lot is going on in all of these divisions. The welterweight division is busy. The middleweight division is busy. A lot of matchups the UFC can make. Some people are saying after this 287 that the schedule looks very, 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 very light. So there's a lot of fighters that the UFC has to start making these fights and announcing these fights for the middle part heading into the summer of this year. But I'm Jason UFC. Today we had a story about Khamzat Chimaev has made peace with Shavkat Rakhmonov on social media. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button, and please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.